I spent a lot of time in morgues. Occupational hazard, huh? When I was just starting as a detective out on Long Island, I used to wash my hands a lot. I'd get back from the morgue, I'd wash my hands 10, 12 times trying to get the stink off. You'll see, Matthew. You'll wash your hands a lot today. Come on, let's go outside.
We sat on a low white wall outside the hospital. The sunshine was bright, the air was balmy, but the stench lingered.
I must be coming down with the cold,
Bloom said, reaching for a handkerchief in his back pocket. He blew his nose, blew it again, and then said,
I moved to Florida because you're not supposed to get colds down here. I catch more colds down here than I ever did up north. Goes to show.
He put the handkerchief back in his pocket.
I called you because you were in the office with her yesterday.
That's right.
To file the complaint.
Yes, I said, nodding.
So she was one of your clients, am I right?
After yesterday morning, yes.
But not before then?
No.
First time you ever saw her was yesterday morning?
Yes, well, no. I'd seen her on the beach Saturday.
Oh? Did you talk about her problem then?
No, I didn't even know who she was. She was just walking by on the beach.
But you remembered her when she came in yesterday, is that it?
Yes, she was a very beautiful woman, Maury.
Yeah,
he said, and shook his head.
That's the shit of it, ain't it? From what I get from the complaint, she was beaten up real bad. So now she turns up on the beach, burned to death. Does that seem like a coincidence to you?
No.
Me neither. Which is why I'm anxious to find this wonderful husband of hers. Guy disappears from the face of the earth, there's gotta be a good reason, am I right?
Yes.
Murder is a very good reason,
Bloom said. He was thoughtful for a moment. Then he said,
What I'm gonna do, Matthew, when I release this to the papers and the radio and television stations, I'm not gonna mention that Sunday night beating, okay? I'd appreciate if you kept it quiet, too. Whoever killed her, the husband or whoever, he won't know anything about the beating unless he's the one who did it. And we don't want him working up an alibi because he knows we know, okay? For the murder, he'll have an alibi, but for the beating, maybe not, unless we tip him off. So let's keep it our little secret, okay? Not a breath about that beating Sunday night.
Okay, I said.
Good,
he said. He did not call me again until 4 that afternoon, while I was in conference with my partner Frank. There are people who say that Frank and I look alike. These are undoubtedly the same people who insist that married couples begin looking like twins after they've been together for any substantial period of time. I do not believe I look at all like my former wife, to whom I'd been married for 14 years, nor do I believe there is the slightest bit of resemblance between Frank and me. I'm an even 6 feet tall and I weigh 190 pounds. Frank is 2.5 inches shorter than I am and 30 pounds lighter. True enough, we both have dark hair and brown eyes, but Frank's face is rounder than mine. Frank maintains that there are only 2 types of faces in the entire world, pig faces and fox faces. He classifies himself as a pig face and me as a fox face. The designations have nothing to do with character or personality. They are only intended to be descriptive. But it seemed to me that Frank was behaving in a decidedly pig-headed way that afternoon as he paced the office, telling me that it was one thing to take a young lady to the police to file a complaint, but it was quite another matter to get involved in a homicide case, which Frank felt I was doing with alarming frequency these days.
Why did Bloom find it necessary to call you this morning?
He asked, pacing.
Why do you want you to see the body? We handle a routine matter for somebody who walks in off the street, and the next thing I know, you're at Calusa General looking at a corpse.
Do you think I wanted to look at a corpse?
Then why'd you go look at it?
Because Michelle Harper was a client.
Some client?
Frank said, rolling his eyes.
2 more clients like Michelle Harper, and we can retire. Popular belief to the contrary, Matthew? This is a business we're trying to run here, and your time is very valuable. If you choose to fritter it away by running around town looking at dead...
That was when Cynthia buzzed from outside. Cynthia Hewellen was a native Floridian with long blonde hair and a glorious tan that she works at almost fanatically. Never a weekend goes by that does not find Cynthia on a beach or a boat. She's easily the most beautiful person in the law offices of Somerville and Hope, 25 years old and employed by us as a receptionist. Frank and I keep telling her to quit the job.